more than. But anyway, but look, thank you very much for coming along today. And I just want to share, it's a very, very brief introduction before we go into our major guest, who is going to be hopefully on Zoom from the United States in a few minutes. In fact, about 4 minutes, so I'm going to be really quick. So over the past 15 years, I've been doing a photographic project. It's called The Descendants. And what I've been doing, I've been recreating portraits of famous people with their direct descendants. So we've got women's rights activist, suffragette Emmeline Pankhurst. We've got Napoleon Bonaparte, Charles Dickens, Horatio Nelson, Oliver Cromwell, the Mona Lisa. And what do they all have in common? They're all white. And I thought, hang on, I photographed nearly 30 people, but every one of them is white. And I thought, and this was kind of before the whole Black Lives Matter thing came along. And I was wondering, is history really only white? So I set off on a journey to, actually, it was the United States, because the United States has actually quite a little bit more Black heritage that's easier to follow photographically for all sorts of reasons than the UK. And you've got Frederick Douglass, who is an amazing man. And then you've got Mary Seacole, and then you've got Martin Luther King. And I think Miss Guppy is also doing another portrait of, remind me? Harriet Tubman. All of these people have done amazing things. But why don't we celebrate them more? And that's really one of the questions that I wanted to ask. Now, another thing, and one of the people I photographed is, wrong machine. There we go. Thomas Jefferson. What do we know about Thomas Jefferson? Who knows Thomas Jefferson in the room? Okay. And what do you know about Thomas Jefferson?
French.
Not French.
Wasn't he one of the founding fathers?
Exactly. He's one of the founding fathers of the United States. He's really got an amazing reputation. He did great things. He was a statesman. He was an author. He was a scientist. That's what we really know him for. But Thomas Jefferson had another side to his life that many people weren't aware of, and that society really fought against for a very long time, because it was an uncomfortable history, and it was a history which wasn't white. And very shortly, in the next couple of minutes, we are going to be having the direct descendant of Thomas Jefferson on screen. And I've already given a little bit away, because by saying the history is regarded as white, which it is, I wonder if you can tell me which direct descendant, what colour this man is going to be. Black. How has that happened, do you think? Any ideas?
Because he married a black woman.
Exactly, he did, and there's some sort of balance about how this happened. And obviously, if you want to ask the direct descendant some questions, and by the way, he's a really cool guy. He's lots of fun, and if you can ask him kind of anything you want, you know. And yeah, we're going to just ask him a few questions. And, you know, one of the questions that I am going to ask him, and it's a very uncomfortable question, why do we need Black History Month? Why is it important? Yeah, aren't we past that now with Black Lives Matter? So why do we need it? So I'm going to ask him that really quite difficult question. But anyway, let's see if Shannon is online now. So now I'm going to flick over to Zoom. I think I may have to admit him. At least I'm hoping he's here. When Thomas Jefferson, he had his own house. It's called Monticello. And there's one man who lived in that house. And that was Thomas Jefferson. And he had more than 120 slaves looking after him for one man, and they were all Black. So for me, why Black history is important. It's the history that does kind of get all the news and does get all the acknowledgement, and then the history that also gets forgotten about too. So I'm going to double send the invite now, just to make sure that Shannon is here. Mr. Lanier, there we go.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, how you doing, Shannon?
I'm doing great. Good to see you.
So, Shannon, meet some of the pupils of All Hallows School in sleepy Somerset.
Hey, everybody. How you guys?
So, Shannon, thank you so much for joining us here today. And can you just remind me and tell everybody else, what is your descendancy from Thomas Jefferson? How many greats is it?
So I am a 9th generation descendant from Thomas Jefferson and Sally Hemings, which makes me the 6th great grandson.
So and what do you do for a living now, Shannon? Would you like to share it with everyone?
I'm a television news anchor, so I'm on Cheddar News. This is our sign back here. Cheddar News is the program that I'm on, and I basically tell everybody what's going on in the world. I do a morning show, I do a trending celebrity show, and I also host a show called Celebrity Lemonade Stand, where I talk to the biggest stars in the world about their businesses.
Very cool, very cool. So, Shannon, I'm going to start. I'm going to start with a bit of a slightly controversial question here.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, but let me just posit this thought with you, right? We've had Black Lives Matter. It's that the issue of color has now more to the fore than it ever has been before. Why do we need Black History Month? Why do you think?
Because I think it's not being represented enough. It's not being taught enough. Like on a normal day, most schools aren't teaching about Black history. So it really gives an opportunity to highlight the accomplishments, the successes, the gravitas and amazing history that has come with the Black community. And yes, it should be taught every day. It should be taught year round, but unfortunately it's not. So it's just yet another opportunity to teach people. And sometimes, unfortunately, that's the only time that people learn about Black history, but it should be something we learn about all the time.
I agree. And what's very interesting, we're in sleepy Somerset, which is kind of the middle of nowhere, kind of. But we're very lucky in that we've got Frederick Douglass, who actually came to speak down here, and the pupils here. Will it fall to bits if I lift it up? This thing of Frederick Douglass.
Nice.
And then the one in progress of Harriet Tubman. But it's what I find, and it's kind of, you've helped immerse me more in an awareness of Black history. But what I'm finding out, and I'm going to share this more and more with the youngsters today, is I still know so little, and I'm still left holding my head. I didn't realize that Sister Loretta Tharpe, who we're going to be sharing the music with later, invented rock and roll in 1938. And I had no idea until yesterday.
There's a lot of inventors, there's a lot of firsts, unfortunately, a lot of Black people invented the things we use every day, like the stoplight and so many other things, the heaters on buses. But a lot of times they weren't given the credit for their inventions because they were people of color at the time, or they weren't able to afford to apply for the patent for these things. So unfortunately, we're taking advantage of the things that they were able to create, but they weren't given the credit. So just another reason why the history needs to be taught, and why we can do some of this work ourselves and research things and look up things. Because, I mean, really, Black history is American history, and all of our histories, regardless of what country you're in.
Yeah, completely. And we also had I don't know if you're aware of it, but we had a statue tear down in Bristol, which is very close to here. The Edward Colston statue was thrown in the dock here, and he was associated with the slave trade. So even though we're in a very rural area, it's still close by, and it's still part of our history here. But just if we choose to do it. Just before we take some questions, what can we do? What can all of us do in this room to better engage ourselves and celebrate not just the white history, but the black history, the brown history, and every color of the rainbow history? What can we do? What job do we have?
I think it's up to us to embrace it, for us to all learn about it. You can read books, you can read magazine articles, you can do a Google search, and you can start to treat each other with the respect and dignity that everybody deserves. Don't treat the person next to you based off their color, or how you behave with them based on their color. Just treat them as a human being that deserves the love and respect that everybody does, because everybody wants a friend, everybody wants to be cool, everybody wants to just be themselves. So allow that opportunity of each other, regardless of what each other looks like.
Well, thank you very much for that, Shannon. Now, I know you're really pushed for time, aren't you? Because I know today's your busy day, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm always getting ready for the next show.
What time's your next show? How many minutes?
Oh, I've got a good 15 minutes before I need to be downstairs, but you got to go read over scripts. Here's one of my commercials right now. See that? Look, that's one of my commercials on TV. That's some of the celebrities that we are with. That's Victor Cruz, he's an NFL player. Lindsey Vohn's Olympic swimmer. That's Layla Ali, a boxer. And that's Keenan Kale. And that's my commercial. So that's the celebrity show that I do.
Wow, that's very cool. So Thank you very much for that. I mean, so everybody in the room, have we got some questions for Shannon, please? Anybody? Just a question? Young lady here.
Did anybody not believe you when you said that you were a descendant of Thomas Jefferson because of your color?
Yep, I heard it before. A lot of people say, yeah, sure you are. You're lying, things like that. And, you get to the point where you don't want to talk about it because people aren't going to believe you. But my mother taught my brother Sean and I to be strong in the belief of who we are and don't let anyone tell us differently. So got to the point where I didn't care if people believed me. It's my history. It's my family. I know who I am, just like you all know who you are. Your parents told you. So that's why I know my family. And then Drew helped with that too. Did you show them the picture that you did, Drew?
No, I'm going to share that at the end. I've been trying to align the planets of America and Britain and bring it all together. So I've had to sort of jiggle my slides a bit, but I'll show it. But it's quite interesting. When I did the picture, I got some quite unpleasant people emailing me saying that it's a lie, and then I was dragging Thomas Jefferson's name through the dirt. I got emails there on that. Not many, but there are a few.
Well, the good thing about my family is we've had DNA tests done. We've had historians, lawyers, doctors, tons of researchers research this family. And now all the historians and all the educated people with the doctorate degrees and the people with credibility, they have come out to support our family and say that Thomas Jefferson fathered Sally Hemings' children.
Fantastic. I've seen another hand go up here.
What has the journey been like to get from your childhood to get to Channel News?
Oh, as a journalist, you mean, in my television career? It's been pretty awesome. I mean, there's ups and downs. Sometimes you don't have a job and you got to look for the next job when your contract runs out. But for the most part, I wake up loving what I do. Sometimes it's early, sometimes it's late, sometimes the days are long, but I love what I do. So it doesn't feel like work. It just feels like I get to hang out and have fun. And I get to meet tons of awesome celebrities and pretty cool people in my life. So I have a ball doing it.
I'm going to put you on the spot now. What's your favorite celebrity you have recently interviewed? That gets you off the hook for a little while ago,
Recently, I don't know. I had a lot of fun with Layla Ali. She's a boxer. She's Muhammad Ali's daughter. She was just so much fun. And also, I don't know if they know Ray J, but he was a lot of fun because he was crazy. I always have fun with the people that I interview because I try to make it fun. I've interviewed some stars from some of the movies that are coming out now too. But you may not know them over there yet.
We'll keep an eye out for them. Have we got any more questions for Shannon?
The photo that Drew took of you went viral. How did that feel?
Well, surprisingly, I've gone viral several times because my family and I are sort of social media influencers. I don't know if you guys are on TikTok. Are you on TikTok there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so my name is at Mr. Shannon Lanier on TikTok, and my kids and I do a bunch of family-friendly things, and we do dad videos, and I do this news anchor dad thing. So every time I go viral, it's always fun. It's always exciting, and I get tons of phone calls and emails and text messages from everyone. I saw you on this. I saw you on that. So Drew's photo was different because it wasn't just my dad and family stuff. It was something, that I never thought was possible. I didn't think I looked like Thomas Jefferson, but then when I saw the photos side by side and then they even morphed our photos together, it was just a little shocking. And I got so much great feedback from people saying that I looked like him or didn't look like him and what they thought. So it was a great way to stir up conversation and just to get people talking again about diversity, inclusion, and acceptance and reconciliation as well.
Well, thank you, Shannon. And if we haven't got any more questions, I'm going to let you get on your way because I know
There's a question.
Oh, I've got a question. I missed a question. Sorry. Speak up really loud.
What inspired you to go on Cheddar News?
What inspired me to work here?
Yeah.
Oh, it was a pretty awesome place. They wanted me to come here and they allowed me to still do my silly videos on TikTok and make people laugh. They love my social media and it's a great station. I'm right here in New York City. Let me show you our view. We have the Statue of Liberty right out the window. We have the Staten Island over there. That's part of the view over there. I guess you can't see it. It's really small right there, but and there, boats down there. So the view is amazing. The location is amazing. What better place to be than the #1 news market in New York City? So I said, I got to do it. And I get to have fun. That's the main thing. I wanted to wake up and go to a place where I get to have fun. So that's why I chose Cheddar News. You got to watch us. We're streaming on all the platforms. You can go to the website, cheddar.com, and see us. I'm pretty much on all the time, so you can see me.
Well, look, I just want to I just want to thank you for joining us today, taking the time and trouble out of your busy schedule, Shannon, and everyone from All Hallows. If you give the traditional All Hallows round of applause, thank you.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, Drew.
We'll see you sometime. We'll be sure to check Cheddar News out. Okay.
Yes, sir. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye-bye.